is your Canton, Georgia Ultimate Relocation Guide. We've got a ton of resources in this video, starting off with moving companies. If you're going to be moving to Canton, Georgia, obviously one of the first steps is that you need a moving company. And there are a few different options for how to do this. We've got a whole list of moving companies in the description. I have no affiliation with any of these companies. These are just the companies that have really good reviews here in Metro Atlanta. We have Peachtree Movers, Georgia Home Movers, and Bellhop Moving of Atlanta. Whether you're coming here from another city in Georgia or another state in Georgia, you're gonna have to hire one of these companies to drive to your current home and then pack up all of your things, move them all here to Georgia. And so the main cost and one of the reasons why this is so expensive is because of that back and forth. You can hire a moving company in your current state, but they would still have to obviously drive back to that state. Or you hire a company here in Georgia, they got to make the drive to your current location and then drive over here. An alternative to this is that you pay for a pod. So the pod company will send you one of those giant pods. It's like the back of a moving truck, but without the truck part. They drop it off in your driveway and then you pay maybe a moving company or you do the packing yourself and you put all of your belongings in this pod and then they will bring that pod over to your new home here in Georgia. And again, you can hire one of these Georgia moving companies to unload your pod, put all of the things into your home. So certainly a few options when it comes to moving all of your belongings to your new home here in Georgia. Once you've settled in your new home in Canton, one of the first things that you're going to need to do is register your vehicle with the county and with the state. You got a couple different options for that. Again, lots of resources in this video. All of these links are in the description. You can register your vehicle online on the eservices.drives.ga.gov, or you can go in person to the office that's in Canton. The address for that office is 2780 Marietta Hwy, Canton, Georgia 30114. It's not in Marietta, even though it's on Marietta Hwy. It's in Canton. I know we do that a lot here in Georgia with the weird naming of the roads, but that would be the local tag registration office for the city of Canton. What's up, y'all? My name is Victor with Atlanta Suburban Living, and we put out videos every week about what it's like to live in Atlanta and the surrounding suburbs of Atlanta. Once you've moved to Canton, Georgia, one of the next things that you'll need to do is get a new driver's license, and the local office for getting a driver's license in Canton is on 220 Brown Industrial Parkway, Suite 200 in Canton, Georgia. I've got all of that information down in the description. Again, you might want to save this video. We got a lot of links and a lot of resources for this video. You'll also see a website associated with getting your new driver's license. This is to fill out the form online. You can go to the driver's license office and fill out that form in person, but you'll have to use their 1990s computer that's clickety clackety, or you just do that at home with your own computer. That way, when you get to the Department of Driver Services, you're kind of saving yourself a bit of time. And of course, the more time you can save from being at the Department of Driver Services, the better. Funny story, I don't know if they do this in other states or not. Of course, this used to be called the DMV here in Georgia. I think this is the more commonly used name for where you get a new driver's license. But they recently, actually not recently, in the last 10 to 20 years, they changed it to the Department of Driver Services, maybe to help with the negative connotation of the DMV, but it hasn't really helped. It's still a terrible office to go to. My wife and I recently went to the DMV or the Department of Driver Services to renew our license or something. And when we got there, there was nobody there. It was like a miracle. Typically you go to one of these places and there's a crazy long line and it's the worst place in the world, but somehow there was nobody there. And there was a lady behind the window, and my wife goes up to the window, say, hey, we're here to renew our license or whatever. And the lady's like, oh, you got to get a ticket. And we looking around there's nobody here. And the lady insists, you got to go get one of those tickets with a number and wait for your number to be called. It was the weirdest thing. We go to get a ticket with our number, literally sit down in the office. They call our number And we go back up to the same window with the same lady. And she's like, oh yeah, hey, how can I help? That just goes to show how terrible the experience is at these places. It's still terrible here in Georgia. So the less amount of time that you can spend in this office, the better. Another big one for many people when you're moving to Canton, Georgia is how to register your kids for school. If you're thinking about moving to Canton or any part of Metro Atlanta, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. I'm the one who answers those phone calls, those text messages, those emails, and I'd be happy to help with your moving needs. Thank you so much to everybody who has reached out. I'm so appreciative of everybody who has reached out and supported the channel. It means so much to me. Thank you. When you are registering your child for the school year here in Canton, the place to do that is on the Cherokee County School District website. Again, link in the description. You'll want to create a parent view account, and then from that account, you can fill out the online registration and submit all of the documents. It's going to be a bunch of documents like your proof of residency and like your proof of guardianship and probably some other ID verification documents. Once you fill out all of those things, that is how you register your child for the school year. And then another big one is setting up utilities. We're also going to talk about how to pay property taxes. We're going to talk about where the grocery stores are in Canton. Lots of information here in this video, but when it comes to setting up utilities for electricity in Canton, the company that serves the city of Canton and all of that surrounding area is Georgia Power. For natural gas, you have a few options. If your home requires natural gas, like if the furnace uses natural gas or the stovetop, the natural gas company for Canton would be Georgia Natural Gas is one of the companies. Also Gas South and Scana Energy all provide natural gas in that area. For water, you're going to have to either use, depending on where your address is, the City of Canton Water Authority or Cherokee County Water Authority. Either way, these are the worst folks to set up service with. The water companies are like, you got to be on hold for like 20 minutes. It's a giant pain in the butt. But all of these other companies tend to be pretty quick. You can just call them. Even the power company and the gas company, I think you can set those up online very easy. But with the water company, it is always a pain in the butt to deal with those folks. For internet, we have either AT&T or Xfinity, and then for trash, we actually have where you have to pay for a private trash service. I know in many parts of the country, like the city or the county takes care of that. Unfortunately, here they don't. You have to pay something about $50 a month, maybe $40 a month. Waste Management is the company for taking trash in Canton, Georgia. All of these links in the video description. A big one that you really want to do as soon as you get moved into your new home in Canton is setting up your homestead exemption. This is how you save a bit of property taxes for your property. The homestead exemption is just if it's your primary residence and you live there and like that's your home, you get an exemption from I think just about every city or every county here in Georgia. That homestead exemption will save you a small amount, but at least it's free, but you got to go into the office to do this in person to file for this exemption. The address for the Cherokee County Tax Assessor's office is 2782 Marietta Hwy, Suite 200, Canton, Georgia 30114. A quick word about like property taxes and actually even that water situation I was telling you. It could be the city of Canton, it could be the county of Cherokee County. The reason for that is here in Georgia, and I suspect this is the case in other states, you can either live within the very immediate area of the center of Canton, in which case you would be considered a resident of the city of Canton, or you can live outside of that immediate area while you would still have a Canton address. You're not in the city of Canton. It's more like an unincorporated part of Canton, and you would be using Cherokee County water, and you would only be paying for Cherokee County property taxes. So again, this is certainly something to check before you move or maybe after you move. Your real estate agent should certainly be helping you with that. But when you live in Canton, you could be paying for city of Canton taxes and Cherokee County taxes, or you don't live in the city, you live in the unincorporated part of Canton, in which case you are only paying for Cherokee County property taxes, and you would be calling Cherokee County for water. So I know that's a bit confusing. Again, feel free, call, text me, email me if you ever have any questions about any of this, but certainly going to affect how you pay for property taxes. When it comes to grocery stores and you live in Canton, there's a few different options. Actually, there are many options, but some of the popular grocery stores would be stores like Publix or Kroger, maybe Walmart, right by the intersection of Marietta Hwy and Interstate 575. There is a Publix, a Kroger, a Walmart. All of those are right there by that intersection. In general, Marietta Hwy has a lot of the commercial stores and restaurants and things that you might need for like day-to-day shopping are going to be there on Marietta Hwy. That's kind of on the south side of Canton. If you live on the north side of Canton, you could be closer to the Publix on Highway 140. So certainly lots of options. There's way more than that, but those are just kind of like the most popular grocery stores. Whether or not you move to Canton obviously is going to depend on a lot of different factors. You want to be able to weigh the good and the bad about whether or not it's worth even moving to Canton. So I've made an entire video where I go over the pros and the cons of living in Canton, Georgia. You can check it out right here. I'll see you in the next video.